Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Magandang gabi, Mayor. Ang una pong magtatanong ngayong gabi via Google Meet ay si Joseph Morong ng GMA 7.
Joseph.
Hi sir, how are you doing?
Oh, yes,
Kumusta
sir.
po kayo sir nasa TV? How are you doing sir? Nice to see you again, although virtually. Sir, first question, just so galing po sa inyo, for the record sir, nabakunahan na po ba kayo?
Can you lower the volume para
Malakas ba sir?
nag-reverberate?
Wala,
Eh.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, can you...
Sir? Okay sir, ulitin ko lang sir.
Wala.
Sir, para po sa inyo namang galing, sir, nabakunahan na po ba kayo? At kung hindi pa po sir, would you confirm na ang gusto po ninyong bakuna ay Sinopharm? At kung Sinopharm po yung gusto nila, bakit po hindi Sinovac?
Yeah, alam mo, have you talked to the medical people? Kami yung mga 70, we have to be careful. Ako naman may doktor ako sarili. She thinks that another brand, I will not mention it, yun na lang ang hinintay ko. Sabi niya, hinintay ko. Sabi ko, but I cannot just out of the box vaccine simply because I have to take care of my age. I will be 77 next year. Next month. Eh yung 70 nga, pinagsasabihin na, baka hindi ako abot. Hindi. 67 lang ako. Sinasabi ko lang yan para kasi mga bata pa sila eh.
Sir,
But-
kasi sir, ang nasabi po sa...
Alam mo, in the matter of getting the vaccine, it is to my advantage. It is to my self-interest that I should get one. No doubt about it. As to what brand, yan ang problema because it is left to the sound discretion of my doctor. May caveat pa yan. 70 people above are, sabi nila, wag na. In some areas, some countries, hindi na binabakunahan yung 70. It's either because they are nearing death or about to die, or it would be useless to give them the vaccine because anyway, they won't live long. I really do not know the rationale or rationale of the whole thing.
Sir,
Pero-
just one last question. Sir, I'd like you to address po yung mga healthcare workers natin because po, kung yung survey po ng PGH ang pagbabasehan natin, 8% lang po ng mga empleyado sa PGH ang gusto pong magpabakuna noong Sinovac. Tapos po yung kung mga Pilipino ang titingnan sir, survey says 13% lang po yung may gusto ng Chinese vaccine. So address sir yung parang distrust ng mga Pilipino sa Chinese vaccines, and would you be willing to be vaccinated in public to shore up yung public confidence sa pagbabakuna? And just one last point, sir, si Vice President Lenny saying that you should be the first to be vaccinated to shore up the public confidence in the vaccine. So yung survey, sir, na mababa yung may gusto ng Chinese, and then yung kung kay Vice President. Thank you, sir.
Siya may yung apurado, siya ang mauna. Ako, I cannot just decide. She's young. I am not. I have to defer to my doctor. But I said, on the matter of getting the vaccine, it is my self-preservation will be at issue. Kailangan ko magpabakuna. Ano bang problema nila sa bakuna na talaga magpabakuna man ako? If I do not want to die and get COVID, I should get one. I go around a lot. I meet so many people on any given trip outside. Bakit dadramahin pa yan? Sinong mauna? Sino? Ako magpabakuna. Ang problema, ang doktor ko may hinihintay. Now, on the issue of itong mga health workers, merong dadating. They have a choice. It's either Seneca or
No po.
Sinovac. AstraZeneca, sir? AstraZeneca, sir.
AstraZeneca, yan. Ay, AstraZeneca o the Sinovac. Kung ayaw nila ng Sinovac, maghintay sila in a few days. There has been quite a... basta I was assured that it would be coming within the next few days. Yun ang gusto
Correct.
nila, they have a choice. That's about another, I don't know how many.
500,000, sir?
Ewan ko, basta siguro dyan. I cannot really tell you the exact number. Basta ito, galing ito sa World Health Organization, yung Sinovac. Ito yung inaporsyon ng WHO among the countries that cannot afford to buy it immediately. Kasi agawan. Now, kung magsabi ngayon, bakit ngayon lang, mabutit na nga't nag-donate nagmagandang loob ang China. This, what you see now, are donated vaccines. Tayo may pera kasi naghiram tayo sa World Bank pati sa DBP. Sabi naman dalawang ahensya, okay, pahiramin kayo. Walang problema. Problem is, agawan ngayon ng bakuna. Until there is a residual supply, we'll just have to wait yung magbili tayo. Sige, reklamo. Sinabi ko na ang rason, walang supply. Ginusto ko man magnakaw, ginusto ko man magbili, wala eh. Kaya itong unang dumating, AstraZeneca would be coming. Now, for those who do not want to be vaccinated, okay lang sa akin. Wala akong problema. Ayaw ninyo magpabakuna, okay. That's your choice.
Okay. Maraming salamat.
Okay, sir. Thank you for your time. Yes, sir.
Kagaya ng ganito.
Thank you very much for your time, sir. Yeah. Go ahead.
Susunod
Ganito.
pong magtatanong, Mr. President.
Kailangan ka mag-mask. I cannot. I simply cannot. Para akong inutil na magsalita na ano. I have to remove it. I'm asking for an exemption? No. But if you want me to do my duty, to talk to the public, to answer the questions from the press, talagang tinatanggal ko kasi I just feel bothered by all of these things hanging in front of me.
Okay, sir. Thank you
Okay.
for your time, sir. Nice
Okay,
meeting you again, sir.
Ang susunod pong magtatanong ay si Ms. Pia Gutierrez ng ABS-CBN.
Hi sir, magandang gabi po. Sir, with the start of the vaccine rollout, sir, could you please tell us what kind of scenario that the Philippines will expect in the next few days or in the next few weeks? More importantly, sir, when do we expect the Philippines to achieve herd immunity, and when do we expect to get our lives back to normal?
Kailan daw po ang ine-expect natin na magkaroon tayo ng herd immunity at kailan daw ine-expect po natin na babalik po tayo sa normal?
Herd immunity is a science. Ang herd immunity is kung ang Maynila, around Maynila, nabakunahan na most of the people and the nearby peripheral provinces. Wala na lahat nakabakuna, so nobody can get contaminated by what? By whom? that is the time that we can have the herd immunity. It is science. Only the medical people can give you the exact calculation on that. As a layman, herd immunity is achieved only kung yung nakapalibot sa iyo na bakunahan na. So there is no more chance for you to acquire the disease because wala nang mag-contaminate sa iyo.
So sir, with the arrival of the vaccine, sir, when do we expect to achieve this herd immunity, sir?
Look, ganito ha. Mahirap kasi yan, ma'am. Because ang herd immunity, para sa akin, personally, mas maganda kung contiguous ang territory. Because you only have to do a circle, paliit ng paliit, paliit ng paliit hanggang towards the center of gravity. Ito island for island eh. And we cannot stop travel. And we cannot expect all people to agree to be vaccinated. That is the problem. Pero kaya nga, we have to take into account the freedom of an individual of what happens to his body. Nobody can tinker with his the human life. Kung hindi siya, kung ayaw niya, that makes it doubly hard for us. But that is also one which we have to take into account in dealing with the problem of COVID-19.
Sir, as far as our targets are concerned, do you see this happening within the year or next year or in the next 2 or 3 years?
Herd immunity, akin lang yan. Basa-basa ko lang. Ula-ula akong, I have no reference except that I cannot recall now how many articles I've read about herd immunity. Ang Pilipinas, towards the end of mga early next year pa. Early next year.
Early next year.
If you ask a doctor, he would give you the same answer. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm wrong. Pero sabi ko, yun lang nabasa ko. What I've read from international magazine. Wala talaga akong, I must confess my incomplete and inadequate knowledge dito sa bagay na to.
On another and a similar matter, sir, now that we have started the rollout of vaccines, would you reconsider the IATF recommendation to place the Philippines under MGCQ?
Will you reconsider daw po yung placing Metro Manila under MGCQ now that we have rolled out the vaccination program?
I am considering it. Actually, pag-start, buksan ko na because there are two things that are really bugging us. It's the economy and COVID-19. Nakatutok yan. Our economy is really down, as in down. So, the earlier na mabilisan itong vaccine, the better. Ako, pag nag-umpisa na yan, roll out, and the other vaccines would come in and distributed to the provinces, I may, siguro pagdating ng mga, we'll have 1 million by this month. Magkaroon na tayo ng stock ng 2 million, bitawan ko na. I will open the economy. Talagang hirap tayo. You know, people have to eat. People have to work. People have to pay for their upkeep. And the only way to do it is to open the economy and for businesses to regrow. Without that, patay talaga. So, mahirapan tayo.
Sir, when you say reopen the economy, that means placing Metro Manila under MGCQ in March?
As a matter of fact, kung kita ko na marami ng vaccine, open ko na lahat. Tanggalin ko na yan. Kung mayroon ng, if the vaccine is available to anybody for one reason or another, sa mga probinsya na distribute na yan, kasi hindi naman mag-abot ng 110 million. Sa estimate nila, it's about 40 million. Kung makahit tayo ng 40 million, o nandyan na yung vaccine, baski meron tayong mga 20, 30, buksan ko na. Buksan ko na dahil sa economy.
Sir, what about face-to-face classes po?
The what?
Face-to-face classes.
Wag mo na. Not now. It would be, I cannot make that decision. It will place the children in jeopardy. Alam mo, iba na yung decision, iba na yung maraming mamatay. I am not ready to lose the lives of our young people, our children. Diba?
Thank you, sir.
Tingnan mo, as they come, pag tingnan ko nakabakuna araw-araw, what's the use? Yung mga ayaw, yung gusto pa ng ibang klaseng, there's the AstraZeneca. If you do not have faith in the Chinese, ako mismo, I guarantee to you, basa, yung 50%, nobody can really tell you how effective it is or the efficacy is at that number. It would depend on your body. If you are a healthy person with no underlying causes of diseases, talagang kailangan mo ng mas marami. Mahina ang katawan mo. Pero pag bigay mo yan kagaya sa inyo, yung mga babae, kayo nakatindig dyan, wala, that's 100, almost 90. Walang makasabi niyang there's no scientific data of comparison there. Wala pa. The fact that Malaysia, Indonesia, Brazil, Africa, UAE, I think, okay, the outcome has been quite successful. Sa China, wala na. Ginamit nila Sinovac, Sinopharm. Okay na sila. As a matter of fact, President Xi Jinping announced, basa ko lang, that China has overcome poverty. Wala ng pobre sa China ngayon.
Okay, ang susunod po magtatanong ay si Ms. Tricia Terada ng CNN Philippines.
Hi, good evening, Mr. President. Good to see you po. Sir, first question, how do you intend to address Filipinos who are still apprehensive to get vaccinated, more so with Chinese brands, for example, Sinovac?
Guarantee. I am giving the guarantee that it is effective. That efficacy is good. Ngayon, yung ayaw magpabakuna, wala akong magawa para sa inyo. Or you might want, at least you know, in your lifetime, may kilala kang doktor. Magtanong ka na lang sa doktor kung anong mabuti sa iyo. Kagaya namin, 70 above are discouraged from getting it. Pero ako, since I get to go around and meet people to travel, baka kailangan ko. You ask yung guideline ng WHO, wala. Yung 70 above, wala na. Patay na yan. Ako 32 na next month.
Sir, experts are saying na mas mahihikayat po yung publiko na magpabakuna when they see leaders or influencers getting vaccinated. Sino po yung mga inatasan niyo, sir, na maunang magpabakuna, especially with the arrival of Sinovac? May naatasan po ba kayong mga cabinet members or officials in your government?
My doctor has in mind, it's a Chinese brand still, pero hindi ito. Siya nakaalam ng konstitusyon ng katawan ko eh.
Yes. Pero sir, may officials po ba kayo or cabinet members na aatasan na manguna po sa pagpapabakuna to represent the government?
Magsabay-sabay kami pagdating. Yung hinihintay lang natin yung ano.
Okay. Sir,
Ako naghingi ako. Personal. Wala silang stock na ano. Naghingi ako para sa pamilya ko, pati sa akin. Pati yung, I don't know if we would have enough vaccines for everybody. But I think I can accommodate itong cabinet members.
Sir, I understand and you mentioned several times that you are grateful to the donations of China. Ito pong Sinovac, yung una po nilang pinadalang bakuna. But sir,
Correct.
how do you wish to address concerns about, or fears, sir, about the objective of vaccine diplomacy led by China and concerns, sir, on our possible position on different issues with China?
Ano daw po yung, tama ba ang tanong mo, no? Ano yung maging epekto sa iba pang mga issues na meron po tayo sa China dito sa
Pagdating po ng bakuna, sir.
Sinovac vaccine?
Well, that's a matter of geopolitics. I have made a declaration that we will adopt an independent foreign policy, which means to say that, one, I assured China that I will not allow nuclear armaments of America to be stored in the Philippines. Yan ang sinabi ko. That's the guarantee that I have. Na hindi ako papayag. Not because it will antagonize China, but it is in the Philippine Constitution which prohibits the presence of nuclear armaments in the country.
So sir, just to put it on the record and to be very clear about it, despite or amid this donations, we will not compromise anything on issues between China.
China never asked for anything. China has been giving us everything, but never asked anything from us, actually. Ang pinakamabigat, ang Amerikano, ang hinihingi nila, ang base. Alam mo ba kung anong mangyari? Do you know the direct consequence? Kung magkagera, and it will surely start, maybe in the theater of war would be the Spratly and China Sea. Katabi lang tayo, Pangasinan, it's just kaharap. Maraming probinsya na yan. Alam mo kung may armament sila dito, ang unang tatamaan yun. Saan? Sa Pilipinas. We are taking a very big gamble there. Kasi kung walang armament sa Pilipinas, yun lang kailangan natin sa counter-insurgency. Okay na, we do not need weapons that could fight other countries because we do not have it, the arms, and we do not want it. Ang unang matamaan, ang Pilipinas. Kasi nandito yung base, nandito yung mga armas nila. The arms are stored everywhere in the Philippines. Baka hindi ninyo alam. May mga depots all around the Philippines where the arms are. Sinabi ko sa kanila, I cannot stop you because we have yet to renegotiate the visiting forces agreement. But I'm warning you that if I get hold of a hard information that the nuclear armaments are here brought by you, I will immediately ask you to go out and I will terminate the visiting forces agreement. Ora mismo.
Sir, maybe one last question, not related to vaccine, since sir, matagal-tagal din po namin kayo hindi nakausap. Sir, there are growing calls for your daughter, Davao City Mayor Inday Sara, to run for president. Nabanggit niyo po na ayaw niyo po siyang patakbuhin. But is this final, sir? Or is this still up for reconsideration, considering na marami pong gustong tumakbo yung anak po ninyo?
Pinal na ba ho yung advice nyo raw po na ayaw nyong patakbuhin si Inday Sara or pwede pa itong ma-reconsider sa dami po ng calls para tumakbo po si Inday Sara?
Si Sara ayaw because may anak kasi yung tatlo. Maliliit pa eh. Maliliit pa. Gusto niya na mag-focus muna siya sa family affairs. But sabi niya sa akin, marami pa naman panahon, and she used my favorite statement. Sabi niya, kung gusto ng Diyos maging presidente rin ako kagaya sa iyo, maging presidente ako. Hindi kailangan ngayon. She wants me, but if God does not want me to be president, I will not have that chance and no more. Ganon rin. Alam mo, the presidency is a gift from God. Wala kang ano dyan. Ayaw niya ngayon. At sabi niya, kung ma-presidente siya, just assuming, after 6 years, bata pa siya, anong gawin niya? As an ex-president, hindi siya makatrabaho, hindi siya maka-appear ng korte, presidente ka na. At sabi ko, mabuti sana kung maganda yung sweldo, makapag-ipon ka. Pero wala ka naman ng ambisyon, diyan ka lang, trabaho, wala kang nothing to.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Salamat po, sir.
Ang susunod po magtatanong si Mela Lesmoras ng PTV4.
Hi, good evening po, sir. Ngayong may bakuna na, sir, sa Pilipinas at nalalapit na rin ang anniversary ng community quarantine sa bansa, paano nyo po i-assess o bibigyan ng grade ang ating government sa pagtugon sa COVID-19 pandemic?
Paano?
I-assess yung pagtugon ng gobyerno sa COVID-19 pandemic ng IATF at ating national government po.
Paano daw pong pag-assess sa response natin sa pandemic ngayong dumating na po ang mga bakuna? Paano po natin a-assess yung ating response sa COVID-19 ngayong nandito na po ang bakuna?
Well, it would be, we must apply it as kung maubos ng isang araw yan, ituro ko yan isang araw. As fast as we can. But look, the Philippines is not Manila alone. Remember that. So may mga syudad, Lawag, Cebu, Davao, Cagayan, Dumaguete, Bacolod. Bigyan mo rin yan eh. Hindi basta-basta na ibigay mo lang lahat dito sa Maynila yan. It would not be fair. Yung lalo na kung may mga gusto, ibigay mo. Pero ratio and proportion. Mas maraming tao dito sa Metro Manila kaysa mga probinsya. Pero in the meantime, na wala pa tayong sufficient supply for everybody, ano yung damating ngayon at next week, paghati-hatian natin yan, ratio and proportion. para naman sabihin ng the rest of the Philippines, aba, nakakalimutan tayo. Tell Duterte that there are Filipinos over here, so many hundreds of miles away.
Sir, kung may nakikita po kayo, Mr. President, na dapat pang i-improve, saan po yun? Ano po yung ng grade, yung IATF, mga LGU, ano po ang ibibigay niyong grade sa COVID-19 response ng ating mga opisyal po?
It's either my ear is failing me, which actually is mahina andito ko kasi na I have a fractured at the back. It's nagpuputo dito. Wala na ako dito. So I have to, ito yung ear.
Mr. President, kung bibigyan po natin ng grade or grado yung ating IATF, yung mga LGU sa COVID-19 response ng government, paano po natin sila i-assess at ano po yung mga nakikita pa nating pwedeng improvement ng government against COVID-19?
Well, that is, yung Department of Health is not a department alone. It is a structure all over the Philippines. So it behooves upon the municipal health officer, the city health officer, the provincial health officer, lahat sila must keep a record that is mandatory so that visitations can be made, especially those who are of age and vulnerable sa yung mahina ng katawan. I really do not know why they wanted to, or why they just exclude the mga 70 above, wag na. Pero ito yung mga vulnerable sa may underlying cause. There is anemia, maybe leukemia. Ito yung bukang ayaw na atang injection. Kung gano'n, ayaw mo injection, gusto mo mamatay na lang.
Sir, may last question po. Ngayong may bakuna na, kailan po natin nakikitang babalik sa normal ang Pilipinas?
In about maybe early mga year 2-3. Not the 2-2. Ito ngayon hanggang katapusan ng buwan, paspasan tayo. Early, the first or second quarter of year 2023. Baka.
Thank you po, Mr. President.
Tulong ng Diyos.
Okay, ang huling magtatanong po ay isang reporter ng Chinese TV, CCTV, si Miss Wang Zhengzheng or si Yellow.
Magandang gabi, President. Nice to see you again. My first question is, today the arrival of first batch of Chinese vaccine shows the Chinese government fulfilled its commitment. So what's your comment on this? Do you think that this vaccine can help the Philippines to recovery of the economy and bring our Filipinos people's life back to normal?
Yes. The vaccine that China donated would greatly help in the recovery of the economy. And it starts now, not really now, but maybe tomorrow, once we begin the rollout. And slowly, those persons who got the vaccines can go to work again and businesses will open. The reason why the businesses are closed is because there are no workers. Everybody is afraid to go out because of the absence of the vaccine. But with the help of China, and please convey my gratitude, xie to the Chinese government and people. It will greatly help and thereby promote a healthy trade and commerce with China.
Okay, President, I would also like to know, during your remarks, you mentioned that the vaccine should be made as the global public goods. That's also the commitment of Chinese President Xi Jinping. And China has already donated the vaccine to more than 50 countries worldwide. What's your comment on this issue?
I have to translate it.
Oh, please repeat the question. I couldn't understand also the question. Slowly.
Okay. During President's remarks this afternoon, he mentioned that the vaccine needs to be made as global public goods. That's also the commitment of Chinese President Xi Jinping. Chinese government right now already donated the vaccine to more than 50 countries. So I would like to know the comments from the President.
Comments daw po ninyo dun sa sinabi ni President Xi na gusto niyang ibigay sa maraming mga lokal na mga iba pang mga bansa itong bakuna na galing sa China. Komento lang po dun sa sinasabi nilang they want to distribute the vaccine to as many other countries.
China has a good spirit. The people are kind, and the government is very not only just a great respect and love for mankind. Now, this will help along, ano yung tanong na?
Ano pa yung comment nyo lang dun sa sinabi daw po ni President Xi na they want to share the vaccine to as many countries?
Well, let me announce it again. China has donated vaccines everywhere for those countries who need help and do not have the money ready for the poor countries. China donated, but the protocol was you have to get the vaccine in China using your own transportation and bring it back, the medicine, to China. The Philippines, as of now, is the only country where China delivered using a military plane the vaccines to the Philippines. That is how good China is to us. Xie.
Thank you, Mr. President. And also, the last question, I would like to know, during your remarks, you said you would like to visit China soon and to take the message to President Xi Jinping personally. So I would like to know which city you would like to visit this time and what kind of message you will bring to President Xi.
Maybe I go to Xiamen. There's a school built to honor my mother. You know, my mother was one of the first educators of the Chinese school in Davao. I said, when you are, you have Chinese blood, you are the wife, you get, in 1950, we migrated to Davao, and my mother was able to get a job immediately. She was taken in by the Davao Chinese School. She was one of the earliest educators. So in China, they have built a building they named after my mother. So I'd like to go to Xiamen before going to Beijing. But what is important is that I told the ambassador, I would like to thank, I'll to travel to China even one day, just to tell President Xi Jinping, thank you. And I fly home. I want it to do personal because China has been good and it the way that helping us right now, I suppose that a debt of gratitude should be paid by a personal visit.
Okay.
Thank you so
Maraming
much, President.
salamat. Maraming salamat, Mayor. Dito po nagtatapos ang ating press conference. Maraming salamat po sa mga kasama natin sa Malacanang Press Corps.
Ay,
At sa lahat
salamat.
po ng sumabaybay. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Dito po nagtatapos ang makasaysayang araw na ito kung kailan dumating ang kauna-unahang mga bakuna laban sa COVID-19. Dito po nagsisimula yung pagdating na liwanag sa panahon ng kadiliman. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat at maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Madilim na kahapon, ikaw ang mag-aahon. Sa piling mo, di ko mawawala ang korupsyon. Tayo na, Pilipinas, tayo na magbago. Hawak kamay tayo,